Join me on another day as a Toronto realtor. Today my day started off pretty early because I wanted to head over to the office to get a few hours of calls and follow-up done. Being the first one in allows me to get some focus time to get some calls and emails done. I had a lot to do today, and the first task was to head over to Pickering to do a listing presentation for a house that I did a home valuation on. A listing presentation is when you go over to the seller's house to give them a valuation for their property and a marketing strategy to show the technique that you'll be using to sell their house, along with how to get them top dollar for their property. From there, I had to make my way over to Mississauga, the Square One area, as I was going to be doing some showings for buyer clients that are trying to narrow in on what community they'd like to live in after selling their house in Brampton. If you are looking for a semi-detached in Brampton, let me know and I'd be happy to show you. We saw a few new buildings in the city center area in Mississauga. These buildings in particular are called M City. I've sold a couple of units here and they just happened to close. It's an incredible project by Rogers in the Square One area that has about 6 towers coming up. If you are interested in potentially living here, let me know because M5 is currently on sale. In a course of about 2 hours, we were able to see 8 or 9 buildings in the Square One and Erin Mills area. Funny story, post-pandemic, realtors don't really drive people around like they used to, but today I was, and this was interesting because I was so cautious of how I was driving. I was worried about if I was driving too fast or recklessly, and I kept on checking myself and driving slower than usual, so that was fun for me. As an agent, it's always interesting to walk through buildings that you saw as projects that were once on sale. It's also crazy to see that units that were once selling for $400,000 or $500,000 are now valued at $600,000, $700,000 these days. After my showings, I did some work for a couple of hours and then headed to a quick dinner at Panera Bread. It was the perfect conclusion to a crazy workday and the perfect refuel that I needed before I headed back home to hammer out a couple more hours of work. My daughter comes home from her dad's house on Wednesdays, so it's very important for me to have long, productive work days so that I can get everything done. Thanks for watching.